and welcome you watching the Monday edition of This is Exclusive with me, Fiancée. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight our focus is on what's the Odisha truth. A wife of an army officer was sexually assaulted, kicked, stripped, illegally detained. And now you have a full narrative that is being peddled by a few in Odisha by simply saying that the couple were actually abusive. Does that really call in for the kind of action that was taken against the couple? An FIR was registered, they were illegally detained. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it'll take 60 days for the truth to come out, as the Odisha government believes a judicial inquiry is required. So just a mere suspension and now 60 days of wait as far as the truth in Odisha is concerned. That's our top focus. And then, of course, we also bring our focus to the other big story that is coming in from the national capital. But all this and much more on this edition of This is Exclusive. But up first, let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking at this hour.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
After judicial inquiry, Odisha Chief Minister holds meeting with victim and army veterans. Republic confronts the ACP of Gurugram. Police questions him about the long rope to the SUV killer in the Gurugram crash case. Laddu controversy snowballs. FSSAI issues show cause notice to AR Foods over ghee supply to TTD. Stand by for the Prime Minister's much awaited address at the UN Summit of the Future in New York.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Starting with some more breaking news now coming in. The IDF has confirmed that at least 182 people were killed, more than 700 wounded, including children, women and medics, as Israel intensified its strikes in southern Lebanon. Israel bombarded several areas in Lebanon as its defense force warned people to immediately leave their homes and other buildings where Iran-backed Hezbollah militant group allegedly stores weapons. In fact, over the last few days, multiple attacks that have taken place inside Lebanon. Israel's IDF has finally claimed that they've carried out attacks inside Lebanon, resulting in the death of several people. In fact, we'll try and also go across to our colleague joining us from Tel Aviv. Lav, in fact, is joining us from a shelter right now. Lav, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. If you can just bring us up to speed about the action that has been carried out. First, with regards to the pager attacks, while Israel hasn't officially confirmed that they were behind the attack that was carried out, today the IDF has made a statement with regards to fighter jets crossing over into Lebanon and carrying out those attacks. What more are you picking up?
Okay, so Israel, of course, is not saying we did the pager and the walkie-talkie because there is no sense. Everybody understands it was our job, and in a way, I don't think that there is anybody who doesn't see it as in a crystal clear way. This is one. Second thing, for a lot of time, it was the Hezbollah who was fanning the flames in Lebanon and the Israel border. Right now, it is vice versa. Now, Israel is more assertive. Almost 200 people got killed. I guess the 182 is, we will see how the numbers are like jumping in a few hours. And for Israel now attacking not only the border, also attacking Baalbek, which is very far away from the border as far as Lebanon is concerned. And also Israel proved that Hezbollah right now cannot even know who is an Israeli agent and who is a loyal Hezbollah officer. So right now, Israel feels that it can be more assertive than it could be before the pager and the walkie-talkie attack.
Well, in fact, Lev, as we understand, a deadline has actually been issued by the IDF, and as the defense minister says, that this is a new phase in the war. What exactly are you picking up in terms of the operations that have been carried out so far? Because over the last few days, they've intensified these attacks, particularly in northern Israel, the border areas.
I think you're totally right. Look, since 2006, we had an agreement, the 1701. And according to this agreement, Hezbollah should go beyond the Litani River. Hezbollah was strong enough to violate this agreement, and their soldiers were on the Israeli border. I guess that until Hezbollah will not say that, okay, we are moving all our forces beyond the Litani River, the defense minister will not tell the dwellers of the villages and towns in the northern border to come back to their homes, because right now we have half black people on the northern border who do not live in their own homes. They live quite far away because of the war. So I guess that what we want to achieve as Israelis is to know that the half-black Israelis can go safely to their towns and villages.
Well, as I understand, more breaking news now coming in, Lav, that sirens have been sounded off in some parts of northern Israel and particularly in the border areas. So it does appear that right now the focus has completely shifted from Gaza to Lebanon. Perhaps the government wants to put the entire focus on eliminating the Hezbollah.
I think that eliminating the Hezbollah is not an easy task. Even Hamas, which is not as strong as Hezbollah, we saw that it takes us 1 year, and still some soldiers, some terrorists of Hezbollah are still there. So I believe that since we cannot really, Hezbollah has a border with Syria, and Syria with Iraq with Iran. So the task of Hezbollah is more nightmarish even than Hamas. And right now, it seems that we have a one-front war. It doesn't mean that we don't have soldiers in Gaza. We do have some soldiers there. But most of our elite soldiers and Air Force and mostly everything else is on the Lebanese border. So although we have also officers and soldiers in Gaza, it is a one-front war only in Lebanon right now.
Well, thank you very much, Lav, for getting us the latest details from the ground. We'll request you to stay safe as you are also reporting from inside a shelter home right now, getting us the latest details from Israel as the situation has only worsened, particularly in the northern areas as sirens have also been sounded off. Shifting focus to the other story coming in from Odisha. Ladies and gentlemen, it will now take about 60 days for the truth to really come out. The fiancée of an army officer who was brutally assaulted inside a police station. And remember, not just that, she's also made a stunning claim that she was kicked, stripped, and a false case was registered against her. As a response, the Odisha government has only suspended 5 police officers and no action has been taken thereafter. An FIR has been registered but not a single arrest has been made in this case. It turns out that the government believes right now that a judicial inquiry is the need of the hour to find out the truth, whether at all the army officer's fiancé was actually assaulted inside the police station or not, because there is no CCTV footage inside that very police station. Take a look at this ground report.
As the storm over the alleged illegal detention of an army officer and sexual assault on his fiancée under police custody took over national headlines, The Mohan Maji-led BJP government in Odisha has come out on top of the case amidst the widespread outrage from the army community across the nation. After detailed talks with the state's law minister, today the chief minister met with the victim and her family to address their concerns.
In fact, when late in the evening, the Honorable Chief Minister arrived in Bhubaneswar, we immediately briefed him, and he decided two major steps he has taken. First is there will be judicial inquiry, a time-bound judicial inquiry, which will be concluded in 60 days. And second is a court-monitored, High Court-monitored crime branch investigation. The crime branch investigation is on, but it was monitored by the police. Now it will be monitored by the Honorable High Court, and it will also be a time-bound investigation process.
The incident occurred on September 15th when the couple approached Bharatpur police station to file a complaint regarding a road rage incident where they were threatened by 10 to 12 miscreants. The couple reported being assaulted and harassed by the police officers. The medical reports also indicated that the victim did sustain visible injuries. After meeting with the chief minister, this is what the victim's father had to say.
2 days back, the police in uniform gave a demonstration. So we had a doubt whether the CBCID inquiry will be partial or impartial. We requested the government of Odisha, ki sir, please see, with the present scenario, a lot of pressure will be mounted on CBCID, so they will not be able to do justice. So we request you to order one judicial inquiry so that it will be impartial and justice will be delivered.
Meanwhile, representing the army side, Brigadier L.C. Patnaik, who also attended the meeting with the chief minister, said that the government has heard their demands and has shown interest in ensuring speedy justice.
The government of the day has taken this case very seriously. They want to ensure that there is a transparent investigation of this particular case, and whoever is the culprit, action should be initiated against them as per the law.
Following the incident, 5 police officers were suspended and several youths were arrested. The Odisha Retired Police Officers Welfare Association claimed that while errant police officers must be punished as per the law, the campaign against Odisha police led by the army is not justified. Amidst this, the Chief Minister has ordered a judicial probe into the matter, which is expected to file a report within the next 60 days.
Well, there has been a nasty fight over this entire matter, with some trying to blame the victim here. And there is a narrative that is now being spun by those who are supporting the action of the police by simply saying that the couple were actually abusive towards the police, and that is the reason why that action was taken, resulting in both sides sparring. Let's just quickly take you through what's the larger picture. What is it that both sides are essentially claiming? Over the last few days, we've also seen the Association of the Police Officers claiming that the suspension order should be revoked. First, let's begin with what the army says. A letter that was basically written by the commanding officer. Prestige of the serving army officers have been demeaned by the action that has been taken by the police. Modesty, dignity of the officer's fiancé has been outraged. Remember, this was a letter that was written by the GOC. Police acted in a manner unbecoming of their position, particularly hinting at the FIR that was registered against a serving officer. Police humiliated, molested the officer's fiancé. This after the officer, as well as his fiancée, was illegally detained for several hours put together, and it does not end there. She was sexually assaulted. That was the claim that has been made. Officer put under custody for 14 hours without charges. Remember, a serving officer cannot be arrested without taking full permission. An arrest warrant has to be issued. In this case, nothing of that sort happened. Police station did not have the CCTVs installed. So the claim that has been made by the police that the couple were actually abusive towards the police is something that remains unsubstantiated. Police statements manipulative, aimed at concealing the brutality. That's what the army claims. Lady was put through medical examination arbitrarily. Let's take you through the other details. Army officer placed under custody without any offense. Army authorities were not even informed in the matter. That should have been the general protocol. Now let's quickly move to what is it that the police has now been claiming on this entire matter, because they say that their entire picture has not come in, and perhaps they're also alleging that the media has been completely one-sided. So let's take you through what is it that the police has been claiming on this entire matter. This is what the Association of the Police Officers say. Police demands that action against the captain. Action should be taken against the captain. Couple were inebriated state, and that is the reason why they believe that action should have been taken against them. The captain drove the car in an inebriated condition. Now that's another claim that has been made where there is no proof whatsoever. Woman misbehaved and abused the students from the car. So there was the incident of road rage, and because of which the couple wanted to file an FIR. That's why they had gone to the police station. And remember, no FIR was actually registered by the police. So much so, thereafter we've seen the kind of action that was taken. Let me go across to my colleague Riyanka, who's joining us from Bhubaneswar. Just bring us up to speed of all that has happened through the day, Riyanka.
That's right. Starting with the Chief Minister day before, I beg your pardon, yesterday night itself, holding a high-level meeting and ordering a judicial inquiry in this case, also requesting for a High Court monitored probe in the crime branch angle as well. Now, on that note, what we saw today morning was a crucial meeting which was held by Chief Minister Mohan Maji along with several army veterans, also with the victim and her father. Now, in this meeting, the Chief Minister had gone ahead and assured speedy justice, and also in 60 days time there will be report from the judicial probe that will be taking place. On the other hand, we also spoke to the law minister, who has also given assurance to the fact that there is the process which is going on, and this case is now currently being investigated, one by the crime branch and two by the judicial investigation that will be taking place. This is for the first time that in this country, and especially in this state, that there are two parallel probes that will be going on. But also in the part that the High Court was requested to monitor the investigation which was being carried out by the crime branch, the High Court, the Odisha High Court, has denied interfering in this case. The High Court has said that they have enough faith in the crime branch. So now that comes to the fact that the crime branch will be solely conducting its investigation, and parallelly the investigation from the side of the judicial inquiry will be going on. On the other hand, we have to report the fact that there were some CCTVs, old CCTVs that were found lying at one of the storerooms at the Bharatpur police station, that also raised eyebrows, and these CCTVs were found after the incident. Whether it is a cover-up or whether these CCTVs have not been installed, that is one question that is being raised. As per the police, they say that these CCTVs were brought in from the old structure, as this Bharatpur police station, which was where the incident happened, it was a newly constructed structure. So there the police trying to save its side, but as we know, there are two sides in this case. One with the victim saying that she was manhandled, she was assaulted, and on the other side the cops saying that the victim and her fiance, the army major, both of them abused the police officials, which is why this strict action was taken against them and they were put in the custody.
Well, thank you very much, Riyanka, for getting us the latest details. The story that we'll be tracking very closely by simply saying a judicial inquiry to be conducted, is that really enough? What about the action to be taken against those erring officers? Let's shift our focus to the national capital. Just about a few days ago, you've had an SUV killer who has been given station bail in just 30 minutes. Remember, the person had a BJP sticker on his bonnet, and it turns out that he was let off. This after killing a motorcycle-borne young boy, Akshat Garg. In fact, as we speak right now, Akshat Garg's family members have reached the Gurugram police station demanding action against the SUV killer. Some of the questions that we have posed to the Gurugram police as to why there was a tearing hurry to basically release the SUV killer, and why exactly no action to be taken against the SUV killer. What you see on your screen right now, Akshat Garg's family has reached the DLF Phase 2 police station in Gurgaon demanding justice, demanding the arrest of SUV killer who has been let off. First, let's quickly go across to my colleague Akhil, getting us the latest details. He's joining us from the DLF Phase 2 police station where Akshat Garg's family members have reached. They spoke to us a short while back where they're demanding action to be taken against the SUV killer. Let me see if we can go across to Akhil. Akhil, just walk us through the details that you're picking up. You've spoken to the ACP a short while back. They say a station bail was granted because that is as per procedure. What more are you picking up? And perhaps if the family members are around you, if you could also reach out to them and perhaps have a word with them.
Well, absolutely, Shravan. If you see what happened, that this evening itself, Akshat Garg's mother and father as well, both of them came over here for justice because they have been seeing that the probe has entered into its 8th day, but they are not seeing any kind of development in the process because while I have questioned this morning itself, I interviewed a senior police officer in the Gurugram Police Department, and they said that when I posed him a direct question that why the forensic report is not out because it's almost 8 days, but if you see there is no major development, but he had no answers to these questions. Apart from that, we asked another question that if you see what happened, the driver of that SUV 300 which is behind me, this is a seized vehicle, seized SUV car. So I asked him a very valid question that why the SUV driver was released on bail, because when the Gurugram police asked him to submit the driving license, he was not able to procure. When I asked this same question to the mother of the victim, she gave a similar analogy कि आप कभी ऐसा नहीं होता कि किसी चोर को बोलते हैं कि घर जाइए और घर से जो चोरी का सामान है वो लेकर के आइए. Then how come Gurugram police allowed that accused Kuldeep Thakur to go home and bring that driving license? I posed this question to the officer ACP and he had no answer. He said we gave him the opportunity to go and bring that driving license. So these are the questions that Gurugram police must need to answer, that on what basis they allowed accused Kuldeep Thakur to go home and bring that driving license. Yes, Shravan.
Well, in fact, let's just quickly play out that confrontation with the ACP of Gurgaon police who allowed the SUV killer to go back to his residence and collect the driving license. This after he killed Akshat Garg. Let's first listen in to what the ACP had to say.
Kuldeep Thakur was not able to produce its driving license, but still Gurugram police granted him bail. Why so?
देखिए, उस समय एक्यूज्ड का कहना यह था कि मेरे पास लाइसेंस है, लेकिन क्योंकि एक्सीडेंट हुआ था इस वजह से मुझे कागजात अभी गाड़ी में मिल नहीं पा रहे, वो खुद भी पजल था, तो उसको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी लाइसेंस प्रोड्यूस करने की दी गई थी. और उसके बाद जब वो लाइसेंस प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाया तो उसके बाद उसमें जो भी संबंधित धाराएं थी वो उसमें ऐड की गई थी हमारे केस में, और आगे कार्रवाई उसमें की जा रही है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है क्योंकि अगर उस समय जितने भी सेक्शंस लगे हुए थे उसमें अगर लाइसेंस की बात भी आपने जो कही, अगर लाइसेंस ना भी हो तब भी एमबी एक्ट का सेक्शन ऐड किया जाना चाहिए था, जो बाद में भी किया गया. उससे बेलेबल या नॉन बेलेबल होने पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उससे.
अच्छा, इसमें फैमिली जो है बार बार वो क्लेम कर रही है कि अक्यूज को एक ना कहीं सहारा दिया जा रहा है.
देखिए, बिल्कुल, मैं सबसे पहले तो यही कहूँगा कि पीड़ित परिवार को मैंने पहले भी निवेदन किया था, रिक्वेस्ट की थी कि अगर उनको कोई शक या शुबा है तो हमसे आके मिलें, हम उनको सारा प्रोसीजर समझाएंगे, क्लियर करेंगे, हम लोग उनके साथ हैं. किसी भी तरीके का कोई स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट एक्यूज्ड को नहीं दिया जा रहा, और इस एक्यूज्ड को नहीं, किसी भी केस में हम किसी भी एक्यूज्ड को कोई स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट, स्पेशल कंसेशन किसी के लिए भी नहीं है. जो कानून सम्मत चीज़ है वही की जा रही है, विधि सम्मत एक्शन लिया जा रहा है, जो धाराएं लगनी चाहिए वो लगी हैं, और आगे भी अगर जरूरत पड़ेगी तो स्ट्रिंजेंट एक्शन लिया जाएगा.
So if he was not able to produce driving license, why Gurugram police gave him a long rope?
देखिए, ऐसा नहीं है कि हमने अगर मुकदमे की मैं कहूँगा अगर मेरिट पे कोई फ़र्क पड़ता तो शायद एक दिन का भी मौका नहीं दिया जाता, लेकिन क्योंकि मेरिट पे उससे कोई फ़र्क नहीं था तो, और उसकी रिक्वेस्ट थी कि मेरे पास लाइसेंस है, मेरा लाइसेंस गाड़ी में ही था, क्योंकि एक्सीडेंट हुआ तो मुझे भी उसमें, मैं भी थोड़ा सा पजल था, तो मैं लाइसेंस ढूंढ नहीं पा रहा हूँ, मैं लाइसेंस दे दूंगा अपना, तो इसलिए उसको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दी गई थी. जब उसने लाइसेंस नहीं दिया तो हमने संबंधित धारा ऐड कर दी.
नहीं, अगर आप ये देखें तो 22 साल का एक नौजवान इस घटना में मारा जाता है, वो एक किलर है, अक्यूज जो है वो एक किलर है, कहीं ना कहीं उसने आपको एक बोला कि हमें एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दीजिए, तो आपने एक अक्यूज को मौका दे दिया?
नहीं, हमने अक्यूज्ड को मौका नहीं दिया। और किलर की जहां तक आप बात करें, ये आप और मैं डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते। देश में जो कानून है वो लिखा हुआ है, और हमारी जो भी इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं उन्होंने एक कानून बनाया, और उस कानून को फॉलो करना, उसको एग्जीक्यूट करना पुलिस का काम है।
नहीं, वो जो एक्ट हुआ है उसके अंदर जो अक्यूज है वो कुलदीप ठाकुर है, गाड़ी वो ड्राइव कर रहा था, उसकी गाड़ी से दुर्घटना घटती है, उसके बाद उसकी डेथ हो जाती है। जब वो डेथ होती है उस प्रोसेस के अंदर, तो क्या वो अक्यूज ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस प्रोड्यूस कर पाता है? आपका कहना है, गुरुग्राम पुलिस का कहना है कि वो अक्यूज ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाता है। तो गुरुग्राम पुलिस ने जनरली क्या होता है कि अगर कोई हमसे गलती हो गई, अगर हम ओवर ड्राइव कर लेते हैं या फिर रेड लाइट भी क्रॉस करते हैं, तो गुरुग्राम पुलिस हमसे पहला काम क्या करेगी? बोलेगी कि आपकी ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस कहाँ है? नहीं होती है तो चालान करता है। इतने बड़े केस के अंदर जब किसी शख्स की 22 साल नौजवान की जान चली जाती है, तो गुरुग्राम पुलिस उसको कैसे छोड़ सकती है?
देखिए, हमने छोड़ा नहीं है। छोड़ने में और कानून के तहत बेल देने में बहुत फ़र्क है। छोड़ने का मतलब ये होता है कि कानून के तहत उसको छोड़ा नहीं जाना चाहिए था, लेकिन हमने छोड़ दिया। हमने कार्रवाई वही की है जो किसी भी अन्य इस तरीके के मुकदमे में आज तक गुड़गांव पुलिस ने की है। हमने किसी भी ऐसे मामले में जिसमें बेल देनी चाहिए हमने डिनाई नहीं करते, और जिसमें नहीं देनी चाहिए हम लोग उस पर बेल पे नहीं छोड़ते। फिर वो कोर्ट का डिस्क्रिशन है उसमें डिसाइड करने का कि उसको बेल देनी चाहिए या नहीं देनी चाहिए। इसलिए हमने छोड़ा नहीं, हमने वही किया जो कानून के तहत किया जाना चाहिए।
Was the accused drunk at that point in time when that incident took place?
देखिए, अभी उसको कंक्लूड नहीं किया जा सकता, लेकिन जो प्राइमरी हमने जो उसका मेडिकल कराया था, प्राइमा फेसाई डॉक्टर ने स्मेल ऑफ एल्कोहल के बेस पे ही कहा है कि उसकी स्मेल तो नहीं थी एल्कोहल की, लेकिन फिर भी हम लोगों ने इस चीज़ को क्रॉस चेक करने के लिए और इसको कंक्लूड करने के लिए उसके ब्लड के सैंपल्स लिए हैं, और वो ब्लड सैंपल्स हम लोग लैब में भेज रहे हैं। वहाँ से रिपोर्ट आने के बाद ही हम लोग कह सकते हैं कि उसने कोई नशा किया हुआ था या नहीं किया हुआ था।
Well, Connaught police now admits that there were procedural lapses. The fact that they allowed the SUV killer to go back home to get his driving license. That's how the Gurugram police actually carried out an investigation. That's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time with more exclusive stories.
National demand to free temples from government. Government control reason for Laddu insult. Why can't Hindus